Good morning, team. Jim here. We're going to continue talking about our core value of own it and the core behavior of be disciplined and consistent. And we're going to continue on with our discussion about angry outbursts. And first thing I want to remind you of that I talked about from last week is that angry outbursts are a way to inflict punishment and pain on the other party. And as such, they're a form of abuse. Secondly, angry outbursts are, in a sense, the ultimate exhibit of a lack of discipline. We literally lose our minds when we're angry. It's temporary insanity. I want to build on those two ideas this week. First, the idea that angry outbursts are the ultimate exhibit of a lack of discipline. What is it like to live with or work around, or worse, work for somebody who goes off, who loses their temper, or who bursts out in anger, and you don't ever quite know when they're going to do it? That is the epitome of lack of self-control. It's the epitome of lack of discipline and control. And we've all heard the expression of you have to walk on eggshells around somebody because you might set them off. That is the antithesis of what we need to be as leaders, as managers, as co-workers, as people. And a bonus thought here is, if you expect to be respected, you have to eliminate angry outbursts from your life. Know that behind your back, people are talking negatively about it and you. One of people's most basic needs is security. And angry outbursts are the opposite. People will be insecure around you. They will be afraid of you. So, one bonus thought, contrary to a popular myth, we don't need to blow off steam. We don't need to let it out. Doing that just leads to more harm and does more damage. So, second, the idea that angry outbursts are a way to inflict punishment and pain, and as such, they are a form of abuse. Who is most often the beneficiary of our angry outbursts? Usually, it's those people closest to us, the people we would say we love the most, we cherish the most, our spouse, our children, our coworkers, our family, our friends. Let me say this plainly. I want you to hear this. Angry outbursts, fits of anger, have no place in any relationship, not in a marriage, not in a friendship. Acting out in anger has no place in disciplining children. And angry outbursts have no place in the workplace. It is never okay to unleash or unload on those around you. You need to control it. You need to rise above it. Now, part of the issue here is what comes out comes from within. So if you want to know what's inside you, you have to think about what's inside you. I was on a train at the airport, one of those trams that runs back and forth, and there was a woman who was standing up, holding on to one of the poles, and there was a little girl not too far from her, and the little girl had a little suitcase, and her little carry-on suitcase rolled a little bit and touched the woman's leg. And the woman turned and very harshly said, "Who is that that's bumping into me?" Now, question for you. What's inside that woman for her to speak that way to a little girl who innocently, right, the tram moved, and her suitcase bumped this woman's leg. It was harmless. What's inside that woman? What do you know about that woman, and what do you think of her? What you know is that she's a bitter, angry person. And what I think of her is that she is small and petty, and I have no respect and no patience for her. So here's a principle. If you want to know the true nature of a person, just bump into them and see what spills out. If you want to know the true nature of a person, just bump into them and see what spills out. So let's personalize this. When somebody bumps into you by offending you, by slighting you, by irritating you, when someone bumps into you, what spills out of you? And what is it that you need to get rid of on the inside that spills to the outside? Final comment. If you literally cannot control your anger, and if you literally cannot eliminate angry outbursts, you need to get help. And there is lots of help out there. There are all kinds of mental health services, counselors that offer anger management, therapy. But I want to just tell you, this cannot be allowed to remain in your life. So you need to overcome this particularly harmful trait if it's in your life. Blessings to you this week as you think about this and talk about this. Bye-bye.